All right, YouTube. Let's talk about A/B switches. This is going to be a demo where I'm going to talk about the differences between an A/B switch. It's a Donner Path Seeker and a Boss LS2. So they're both can be used as A/B switches, although the Boss has more features and it does more things. And we'll talk about that in a sec. Right now, we're hooked up through the Donner Path Seeker. And I've got two paths here, and I'll just kind of show with my hands what's going on. So I got the guitar coming into the Donner Path Seeker. One path goes through this Joyo California sound pedal that simulates a Mesa Boogie. I've actually got it on kind of a clean sound. And then the other path goes into this DoD Overdrive 250. And then it goes into a Moen Buffalo, and the Buffalo is... It's got a cabinet simulator. It's also a parametric EQ. It's also a DI box. And it's got a preamp control too. So it does a lot of things. But I'm strictly using it here for the EQ and the cabinet simulation to put after this overdrive. So let me play you a little bit. This is through the distorted channel. Oh, and no amps are used. This is going right into my into a mixer, then into an audio interface. So you can see here this tablet. That's my UI 16 mixer, which I'm controlling with the tablet. Just happen to have it up here because it's convenient. Okay, so let's switch to the clean sound, which is through the Joyo here. So, you know, it goes back and forth. So let's kind of show you this, so you can see it's switching back and forth. So it has this cool little light, and actually the light is also a volume control. So you can see I'm turning it down, turn it back up. So you can use this as a... if you have two different amps you're going into or two different pedal loops, you can use that to control the volume if you want one louder than the other, that kind of thing. This one also has a cool little thing. If you're running into two amps, it's got a phase switch here, so you can see I'm kind of clicking that back and forth. It will take it out of phase 180 degrees, so if you got two amps and one's canceling out the other, you're getting some phase issues, you can use that. I don't need it for the pedals that I'm doing here, but that's a cool feature. Another thing that is good to call out between both of these pedals is they're both buffer pedals. So they have a buffer, so they drive your guitar signal through longer cables without loss of kind of the high frequencies. They're not the true bypass thing. I think, and you know, your mileage may vary in what you want to do. I like the buffer pedals for the first pedal in series when I have them because it helps with a lot of cable runs and you get that clarity. But when you cut off the pedal that has the buffer on it, the buffer is always there. So that's kind of, you know, so some people think that messes with your tone. I'm okay with the messing with the tone so that I get a clean sound all the way through a lot of cables. So both of these are buffer A/B switches. Okay, so you kind of see the back and forth there, and they're both got a little volume control. A little hard to read. You're going to need to set that. I wouldn't do that on a dark stage. It'd be tough to do. And then it does the both. So I'm running through both the, oops, I kind of buried it here with the Donner. So I got the California sound and then the DoD, so it's kind of a... So you can do both, and again, that volume control can come in handy. So I'm taking out the clean, now I'm going to turn down the distorted. So that could come in handy. The easiest use case, I think, for that is with a bass guitar, so you might have like a big muff fuzz on one side of this and clean sound on the other, and then you can kind of balance how much distortion gets into your amp using that. So that's the Donner Pass Seeker. Great little pedal. Pretty basic for AB. You get a buffer, and pretty convenient. About the size of a regular pedal, just angled a different way. Can't complain. Really like it. I'm going to use it. Just got it in the mail about a week ago, and I've been kind of playing around with it. Definitely going to be taking that one out to the gigs. It is more specific for what I need than the Boss LS2 pedal, but the LS2 is awesome too. Let's kind of switch around some cables so you see that. So we're on the distorted channel now. String in a tune, but that doesn't really impact this demo. So you can see that it's doing the same thing, A or B. One thing to point out here with the LS2 is because it's really made to be 2 effects loops and then another out that you can use for a tuner or something else. It's actually got 3 outputs here. So if you think about it like a looper, an effects loop, not a looper. The effects loop, this would be the send, and then on the other side here, you can see there's a return for those 2. And you can see on the other side, there's 3 outputs and kind of 3 inputs. So if you think of it like that, the next thing I'm going to say makes a lot of sense. The dials here, you would think they would control the volume of the output. They don't. You can see the volume's not changing at all when I'm doing this. That's because they control the input back into here. So if you use this as an effects loop, so if I had these things going out and then coming back in here and I only had 1 output going out, I could control the volume for that. But that's a little bit more in-depth. There's more cables involved. That's not what I want to use it for, but the line selector is great for that kind of stuff and kind of get it close to the camera. So there's a lot of modes here. So you can kind of switch the modes, and I'll read them off for you. So the way it's set up now is A-B. So it only goes A to B. You can switch it so it's A or bypass or B or bypass. You could switch it between A or B or bypass. You could do an A-B mix and bypass. And then you can select it so it's just the output. A-B, and then the third one here doesn't light up. So that kind of gives you 3 outputs technically, and you could use that and get a little bit more versatility out of it than you get with the Donner Pass Seeker. And again, this is a I would call it a more top of the line pedal than the Donner's kind of basic stuff. Doesn't do anything with the basics, but the line selector does a lot more. It also does the A/B stuff, but I like the Donner Pass for that because it just gives me what I need, and I don't have all this other stuff that I could accidentally hit or mess up when I'm at a gig. But the line selector is awesome if you need a couple of effects loops, a lot of options, the ability to change the modes. Great pedal for that stuff. They're not really in the same class of features. The Boss pedal has a whole bunch more features, but there's a price difference there too. The Donner Pass Seeker is very inexpensive and pretty functional. And now you can see it's kind of flipped to this one that I don't have plugged in. I really like that DoD 250, but that's another demo. So, hope that gave you a good overview of what the Donner Pass Seeker does, how it compares to the Boss line selector, why they're 2 different kind of classes of pedals. You get a lot more features from the Boss pedal. But The Donner Pass Seeker is perfect if you just need an AB. That's it, a little volume control for it, and you need a buffer. Great pedal for that. And I will kind of talk there, the true bypass AB switches. A little different thing. They don't do any kind of coloration sound, nor do they preserve the sound with a buffer if you're sending it through a lot of cables. So make sure you're thinking about that if you're getting an AB pedal, whether you want a buffer or not, because that kind of changes your selection. So make sure that you subscribe for more demos of gear. Doing a lot more, kind of stuck at home with the pandemic going on here in the USA. Looks like we're going to be at this for a little while at the way things are going. So make sure you subscribe so you see some of the demos I'm doing for gear. I've got a lot of time to kind of play with all my little pedals and amps and stuff. I'll give you a little preview here. I'll move the UI 16. So I got a Mower GE300. I don't think I've really done a lot of demos on my channel of that. And also I got a new Boss pedal here. It's I'm using it as a talk box, but it does a lot of other cool things. And it's really neat because you don't need to put a tube in your mouth like you do with a regular talk box. So, you can look out for a demo of those things. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Take it easy.